You bet your sweet bippy it's a Meltdown review. But we aren't just going to talk about why this set is great in this video. No. We're also going to highlight the great pieces that come in this set, and how other people have used them when they've built their own MOCs. And maybe we'll take a look at a few cheeky revamps of Meltdown too. Here we go. You know what's a great Hero Factory set? Meltdown. The sick, nasty, toxic waste whip. These large canisters of toxic waste on the back. The caution labels on his arms, the evil looking mask. He just has such a fun vibe. And it's a vibe that was never really explored in Bionicle. Yeah, there weren't really any like toxic or poison powered Bionicle characters. Okay, there were, but these Bionicle characters didn't lean as heavily into a very villainous, Saturday morning cartoon, villain of the week style aesthetic. But this set does. It's so wonderfully in your face and over the top. Hero Factory is a fantastic world where you can have a character with a giant whip made out of toxic waste, or a radioactive sludge shooter. Sets like this weren't afraid to lean into over-the-top designs, and while they can be a little bit dorky and silly, they're also really freaking cool. And cool in a way that was different to the world of Bionicle. Only a B-movie style villain like this would have a vat of toxic waste and be so obsessed with toxic waste. Bionicle characters wouldn't do it in that way. Bionicle is grounded and serious. Hero Factory doesn't take itself seriously, but that's a good thing. Meltdown is just a wonderful and wacky character in all the right ways. Now let's take a closer look at all these beautiful pieces. Meltdown's mask is just beautiful. All these wonderful sharp angles and the dynamic lines on it. It's sick. And dude, that red mono eye? Terrifying. Brickens has built a MOC called Desert Hound that uses two of these masks here to help shape the body. And gosh does this look good. The sharp lines of these two masks flow beautifully into each other, and it creates such a fantastic look. Using it for the body and the neck area of a character or a creature is just genius. Oi, can you imagine like a snake that uses like 30 of these pieces to form its body? Given how well these pieces flow into one another, that would look awesome. Now this MOC also uses some of these yellow shin guard pieces here on the front of the legs and the back of the body. And you get two of these pieces here in this set. Let's check out a MOC by Stereod that uses these in a rather clever way. The way that these neatly cover up the front of the wheels is just stunning. It's good to see that these work well for leg armor like they do on the set, or you could use them on a vehicle, or a robot with vehicle attributes. What a clever idea. Meltdown comes with these trans bright green canister pieces. It's a rather unique element, but one that can be used in some very interesting ways. And ways that aren't just like barrels and canisters. Brickens shows us this MOC, and it's still a work in progress, but it's called Canister Whip. And look at that. Using these pieces as body parts, that's so clever. And the way that these pieces just illuminate this monotone black design, it's so pretty. Such a great way to add in a secondary color. Now why not use these for an upper leg design or an upper arm design on your next Bionicle MOC? Bra-onicles also uses these in a fairly similar way, but one other thing that they've done here that I love is how they've included this Invasion from Below canister piece up the top here. This canister came in a set much like this one that you're seeing here. But yet the two of these different canisters together on the one build, it just makes sense. Plus it's such a great way to showcase the toxic and poison elements and power set of this character. So cool. Meltdown also has some of these yellow Mantax claw pieces. Brickens has another MOC here that uses these parts, and yeah, using them for little claws on the hands, that is cool. But then placing some of them on the torso for shoulder armor? Oh, that's really cool. It looks so lovely and dynamic, especially with how it blends in with the Bittle mask up top and the Meltdown mask on the torso. Oh yeah, and using that Meltdown mask here to shape the top part of the torso and then the way that it bridges into the waist by connecting a bar into Meltdown's eye? Dude, Brickens really knows how to use these Meltdown pieces in some really creative ways. Oh, and on that, one last MOC from Brickens is this tentacle monster. It uses two of these lime whip pieces, you get one of these in this set of course, and then it's combining it with some of the orange whip pieces that came on the Baraki set Kalmar. And what a crazy looking creature that they've made here. So wacky and crazy looking, and it's all thanks to these tentacle pieces. Meltdown also has these shield pieces on his arms in yellow. Of course they have stickers on them, but if you don't put the stickers on, you could do what Max Howell has done here and use them for a sweet, sweet torso design. Angling them like this, it just looks so pretty. And finally, this set includes one of these black Skrull armor pieces. DV MOCs uses this piece on their incredible revamp of Lezovic. Let's zoom in here on the leg design. I love the way that the three prongs at the end of this Skrull piece, They beautifully transition the lower leg design, which is pretty much all black, up into this lime area. It's just such a good way to transition colors. Oh, and this MOC is fantastic too. This is one of the best Lezovic revamps I've ever seen. Well done. Alright, and now let's move over to some revamps of Meltdown. The first one here is by KZI1, and I love how they've changed up this whip. Using lots of lime CCBS bone pieces allows this to be way more posable than the original one, especially since that was just a static rubber piece. Plus, just the repetition of these pieces looks awesome. These new claws on Meltdown's hands, and the more bony appearance to the rib cage and the rest of the limbs, it gives him a nice creepy factor. I think it's just fantastic. Yeah, great to see a much larger and more menacing version of Meltdown. Kalahiki Art has built this next Meltdown revamp, and the way that they've built these claws is magnificent. Taking what was present on the original set with these little tiny claws, but turning them into more of an actual hand. Oh, that's just cool. And I would argue it looks a little better than the claws that appear on the official set. Something else that's cool is the inclusion of all of these trans green pieces throughout the body. That's sick, because now it looks like the toxic waste in those barrels is pumping through their body and powering them up. And I like it even more because the bulkier armor that he has here, it makes it look like he's wearing some kind of like hazmat suit or protective armor. It kind of like Mr. Freeze in Batman. He wears a protective suit to keep himself alive. That's kind of fun. See, this makes me think that maybe there was some sort of accident where toxic waste gave him all these powers and made him stronger, but it's also killing him, so he needs this suit. That's a fun and very different take on Meltdown. I love it. And then finally, Rockmonster 2000 shows us his take on Meltdown. Isn't it cool that so far we've had a more skeletal design for Meltdown? We've also had a kind of protective armor suit, but now we see a design that leans a little bit more into the mechanical, the industrial, and I guess it's got a more robotic look. 3 different takes on Meltdown, but all of them fit him very, very well. So we've got some highlights of red here and some caution stickers on the legs. That's sick. And all of this like piping and other greebling on the torso as well. All these new colors, all these new textures, it's brilliant. I quite like how they've changed up the whip so it looks more like a tentacle, and then all these little toxic bits falling on the ground here, that's fun. Oh, and then the way they've given him a more pronounced eye that has a bit of a pupil as well. Now he looks really evil. I adore this MOC. Well done, Rockmonster. And that's Meltdown. He's a great set with even better pieces. And how about those revamps as well? You know, if you enjoyed those and you enjoyed some of the other MOCs that I showcased in this video, please check the links in the description below. I'll have links to all the builders that I mentioned in today's episode. Be sure to give them a like, go give them a follow, go comment on their stuff, and let them know what you think of their incredible builds. Otherwise, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, happy building, and bye for now.